In all parts of our lives, we fall victim to adversity and failure. It's inevitable. What is adversity? Adversity is defined as unfavorable fortune or fate, a condition marked by misfortune, calamity, or distress. What matters is how we handle these situations. How we handle this adversity and or failure is an indicator as to what type of person we are. Did we give up on our goals? Do we use this experience as motivation to succeed? These experiences can leave us with questions like, how does a person become successful when faced with so many challenges or failures? In my opinion, what makes a person successful is the ability to persevere through adversity and failure and come out succeeding. In the novel Chronicle of a Death Foretold, a young woman, Angela Vassario, is forced into a marriage with a man she thought she never could love. Things went south on their wedding night when her groom, Bayardo, returned her to her parents and left town. As time passed, Angela realized that she actually was in love with Bayardo. She decided the only way to get him back was to write him letters. It took her 17 years of writing letters for her love to return to her. Even though Angela never got a response from Bayardo for 17 years, her perseverance through these small failures allowed her to succeed in getting her true love back. In the novel, Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, a young boy named Oscar loses his father in the 9/11 attack on the World Trade Center in New York City. Oscar then finds a key with the name Black on it in his dad's old room. Oscar believes that his dad left this key for him for a reason and feels determined to find the lock it belongs to. He searches New York City for months, visiting every person with the last name Black who lives in the city. Every day he would visit a new house, and every day he would return home without any progress. Finally, after several months of going house to house, Oscar finds the lock his key belongs to. Oscar's resilience allowed him to succeed in finding the lock to his key. Just like in all success stories, the greatest basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan, had his fair share of failure and adversity. In high school, Michael Jordan was not a basketball player. Mike Jordan was a 5'9" outstanding center fielder and pitcher who would later throw 45 consecutive shutout innings for Laney High School. After trying out for the varsity basketball team, he was cut because of his lack of size and talent. Mike tried it again his senior year, and he was finally allowed to play. He scored 35 points in his first varsity game and averaged 25.4 points per game the whole season. He then signed to North Carolina to play college basketball, and from there became the greatest basketball player to ever live. Imagine being born in rural Mississippi in the 1950s to an impoverished African American teenaged mother. Now imagine being sexually and physically abused starting at the age of 9 and until you run away at the age of 13. On top of that, imagine becoming pregnant at the age of 14 and then losing the child. This is the story of Oprah Winfrey. However, with undoubtable resilience and guts, she was able to overcome all these obstacles. She enrolled in college and majored in communications. She landed her first job at a station in Nashville, which led to a gig at an ABC affiliate in Baltimore, which then clutched her a primetime spot as a co-host and news anchor. But her journey didn't end here. After being thrust into the spotlight with high expectations, her show failed, and of course, being a woman and an African American, she was blamed for it. She was demoted to a writing and reporting gig, but because of the resilience and guts she had from the minute she was born, she was able to come back and become the richest self-made woman and the only African American billionaire in the United States with a net worth of $3.1 billion. The ability to persevere through adversity and failure is the only way one is able to succeed. Without perseverance, it is scary to think about what our world would look like today. Would the United States still be controlled by Great Britain? Would African Americans still be treated as slaves? Failure sets everyone up for success in the long run, and if we weren't familiar with failure, creativity would cease to exist. Those who persevere through failure are the ones who will become successful.